Everybody has already seen or heard about the famous Karens, those people who think they are always right and love to cause a scene, from using their own car to ram a police squad car all the way to trying to solve everything with bites and scream. But what happens when they come across someone who is not willing to back down? You will see outrageous cases like these today. The incident happened in one of those quiet little towns in Ohio, where usually the most exciting news is the neighbor's dog's birthday. But this time, folks had something far more peculiar to talk about. It all started when a man went to the police station to report a case of domestic violence, but was confronted in the parking lot by the woman suspected in the incident. She ignored 5 orders from the officers to get out of her vehicle, which was parked behind the victim's car, and instead of cooperating, this Karen decided it would be a good idea to turn her Mazda into a sort of improvised battering ram and rammed the squad car. Of course, the police were not having it. After the angry Mazda attack, the officer broke her car window and took her into custody. The scene caught the attention of passers-by, and soon the story spread like wildfire through the town. After all, it is not every day that someone decides to test toughness of a police vehicle. The Mazda, poor thing, did not fare well in this story. With the window shattered, the final count was a damaged vehicle, a squad car with impact marks, and a woman who is definitely going to have a big headache to deal with. A scene straight out of a reality show occurred when a daddy's little girl was pulled over while driving a Tesla. The young woman was drunk and ended up putting on a display of sheer arrogance with the officers. It all started when the agent stopped the car because this Karen was driving above the speed limit. She then refused to be arrested and was heard saying, "This island is mine," while sitting in the driver's seat and speeding away. A chase quickly began, and when the officers caught up to her, she was taken into custody.
Get out of the vehicle!
You got me up, bro. I own this.
Actively resisting. Get out of the
When the father of this spoiled girl arrived, he said there was nothing he could do. In the end, there was no island that could save her. The Karen was charged with numerous offenses, including resisting and fleeing the police, plus driving under the influence, totaling 110,000 United States dollars in bail. Of course, the whole island was talking about it. After all, when the city princess messes up, everyone hears about it. A viral-worthy scene came straight from Florida, and this time the star is a woman who completely lost it during a police stop for erratic driving. The video starts with the officers asking for her driver's license, but it seems that was enough to light her fuse. She handed over her license visibly annoyed. Then, moments later, the woman snatched it back from the officer. From there, it all went downhill. When the officers handcuffed her, she just lost control and switched into possessed mode. There was crying, yelling, and jerky movements.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn you on your side.
Once Florida Karen finally makes it to the station, trying to resolve the situation using her teeth, she tries to bite one of the officers. And just when you thought it could not get any weirder, she started pretending she could not speak English, throwing in random, disconnected words and trying to avoid the question. The performance was so over the top, it was obvious she was faking. In the end, the woman ended up being restrained and wearing a spit mask, but not before yelling at anyone she could. The video is already going around and giving people a good laugh, or just that Florida being Florida thought. If there is one thing the internet never lacks, it is fast food meltdown, and this time the spotlight fell on an extreme Karen. According to employees, the customer arrived at the restaurant in an agitated state and started a heated argument with them. A video, recorded by one of the workers, shows the lady using profanity and making aggressive gestures.
This is going on the Troy website.
As soon as the officers arrived, the angry Karen hid in the restroom to avoid being charged. As the minutes went by, they asked her to come out, but no luck, until the officers went in and detained her. The woman was visibly agitated and was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence, assault, trespassing, and driving with a suspended license. Here is yet another episode in the never-ending series of fast food blow-ups. The drama was real in this story involving a true Karen who, out of nowhere, decided to go after an officer. It all starts when the agent stops her, claiming her license plate is expired. The stop seemed peaceful, but the mood changed quickly. Without warning, the woman took off running, and when she was caught, she went straight for the officer, launching a totally unexpected attack.
Hey! Get over here! You're gonna go. You put her...
After the attempted assault, she was subdued and handcuffed. But not even then did Karen lose steam. She kept on screaming and thrashing about, making sure the scene was complete chaos. She ended up in jail, and the judge did not go easy when setting bail, $400,000 United States dollars, a figure that makes it clear that attacking an officer is no joke. Now, the surprise attack Karen has become an example of how to turn a simple traffic stop into a show that no one will forget anytime soon. Florida, known for its beautiful beaches and hot weather, is also famous for its outlandish stories. This time, it was a golden woman who put on a show by running from the police. The situation began when officers pulled her over for an expired plate, but instead of cooperating, she fled, sparking a heart-pounding chase.
I too, pit.
The video shows the moment she stepped on the gas and blatantly ignored the sirens and signals to stop. Naturally, the police did not fall behind and gave chase with multiple squad cars trying to surround her, creating a scene worthy of an action movie. For quite a while, she managed to shake them off and cause headaches for the officers, who tried everything to stop the car. In the end, the officers managed to intercept the vehicle, and she was pulled out by force. The fast and furious Karen ended up feeling ill and had to be taken to the hospital, but she did not escape the long list of charges. This time, the action unfolded on the west coast of the United States when the police got a call about an attempted trespassing. The property owners wanted her to leave, but the trespasser, who was visibly drunk, refused to go and decided she was not going to cooperate, claiming she was not doing anything wrong. Realizing that the woman was intoxicated, the officers told her to call a ride service and leave, since she could not drive under the influence. However, the drunk Karen refused to go. At one point, it was obvious she had no intention of resolving anything, and she ended up being placed under arrest.
Excuse me?
Don't move.
Excuse me?
Quit.
Get him. Nope, you're off me.
In the end, in addition to being removed from the property, she was given a pair of handcuffs. Just another day of Karen being Karen. The former mayor of North Royalton, Ohio, got herself into a confusing and dangerous situation when she was stopped by the police due to expired plates and driving under the influence. After the initial stop, the woman, who was visibly disoriented, refused to cooperate with the officers. She even said she was the city's former mayor, trying to use her position to avoid the consequences. However, things escalated when she, rather than stopping, sped off, leading the officers on a high-speed chase.
Get out.
Wait.
The fugitive Karen was quickly caught by the officers, pulled out of her vehicle, and handcuffed, but she still showed resistance, refusing to get into the squad car and demanding her belongings. She was arrested and charged with driving under the influence, speeding, and driving with expired plates. A traffic stop that seemed routine quickly turned into a full-blown assault when the driver decided to handle the situation in her own way. The story begins with the police pulling over the woman, suspecting she might be driving under the influence. When officers asked her to undergo sobriety tests, she refused, thinking that if she did not comply, they would have no proof and therefore could not arrest her. Tensions rose when she began to challenge the officers, saying it was all a setup and that they had no evidence. Once instructed to get out of the car, the woman became agitated and suddenly lashed out. She kicked one of the officers, which only made things worse. The agents, of course, responded, and the stop quickly turned into a physical altercation, with the woman resisting the entire time.
Stop. Stop. You're kicking me. All right, that's it. Okay. Well, you just kicked me.
In the end, she was finally subdued, handcuffed, and taken to the squad car. Instead of avoiding trouble, this Karen's refusal to cooperate and her resistance only made everything spiral out of control. Asking to speak with the supervisor is typical Karen behavior, especially when dealing with customer service. However, in this case, she was facing the police while getting a ticket. When the officer was in the process of issuing her a citation, she began questioning and complaining, asking to talk to the supervisor, as if that would change anything. Things got worse when she, in the middle of the stop, threatened to call the police herself, saying she was going to have someone come sort it out, and she even tried to drive away before the officer finished handing over the ticket.
Step out of the car.
I didn't do anything.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Naturally, the officer was not about to let her leave and quickly prevented her from escaping. The video of this ruckus soon went viral, showing the woman trying to dodge the ticket and disrespect the officer's authority. While the officer tried to settle everything, she kept up her defiant attitude, thinking she could get out of the ticket by threatening to call the police. In the end, her attempt to flee only made things worse for her, since she ended up with the citation and had to deal with the consequences of her resistance. Another example of how things can escalate quickly when someone decides to challenge the authorities. This Karen's situation began when she was caught driving on the wrong side of the road, which obviously grabbed the police's attention. As soon as she was pulled over, the visibly intoxicated woman, instead of apologizing or cooperating, began challenging the officers. Her refusal to comply only made matters worse, and the already bad situation, caused by driving the wrong way, went downhill when she would not follow the police's instructions and started to mock the officers.
From this direction you saw?
Channel 20, Channel 31, user in medical condition of house.
What?
Yeah, that was about probably 6.
In the end, she was arrested and charged with driving under the influence, resisting arrest, and possession of narcotics, turning what could have been a minor mistake into a major issue when she decided not to cooperate. This Karen created total chaos on a flight by refusing to wear a mask, defying airline safety rules. During the flight, the crew asked her to put on her mask properly, but she refused and kept ignoring the instructions. When the plane finally landed, officers were called, and even though the woman was wearing a mask when they arrived, she continued her defiant attitude. When they tried to arrest her, she was not willing to cooperate. She could have simply followed the officers without making a fuss, but instead, she made sure to complicate the process. She resisted, leading the officers to use force to take her into custody.
Hey, what? Stop!
Ma'am. You're under arrest.
Because of my back?
No.
What is wrong with
Because
you? Okay, I'll come back. He asked you to leave and you did.
She was arrested for disobedience and resisting arrest, and the whole situation would have been much simpler if she had just cooperated from the start. This woman was trying to steal products from a store when the police confronted her. She was caught red-handed with the stolen items, and instead of owning up, she tried to walk away as if nothing had happened. However, she was quickly stopped by the officers. During the stop, she started making excuses, claiming her father was the store owner and that this somehow meant she should not be punished. She also said it was illegal to arrest someone like her, trying to twist the situation as if she was in control.
Drop everything, okay?
I'm waiting for my dad.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. You should leave right now.
Hey, drop everything.
This is my dad's store. He owns it.
No, he doesn't.
Instead of cooperating with the officers, she started yelling and resisting arrest, which only made things worse. The situation did not end well for this sneaky Karen. She was taken into custody and undoubtedly learned the hard way that you cannot simply challenge the authorities like that. This drama started when the police were called to investigate a black Camaro that had landed in a ditch. What seemed like a routine situation turned into utter chaos. The young woman in the car was drunk and resisted being placed in the police vehicle after she was handcuffed. When she finally gets into the car, the crybaby Karen starts kicking the vehicle door, and when the officers open it, she is partially undressed. The whole fiasco ends when she is taken to the station and booked.
I don't think he wants to talk. Whoa! I don't care. Put your shoe on.
No.
Okay.
I don't care.
In the video, one woman turned a simple dentist appointment into a real mess. She had requested her medical records, but when told she needed to wait, she became aggressive. When the police arrived and attempted to remove the stubborn Karen from the office, she resisted and had to be taken out by force.
Issue. Why am I getting arrested? Why am I getting
Get out and side.
Okay, I'll get out.
Things escalated so fast that she ended up being arrested and put in the back of the squad car, where she kept screaming and kicking. Another case where everything could have been solved peacefully, but a Karen decided to make it complicated until the bitter end. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.